everybody, it's Deb here with Creative Life. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you all so much for your support and for subscribing to my channel. So you all, today I have a last project that we're going to be doing for Tres Jolie. And this project is going to be a super simple junk journal. Okay, so to start our junk journal, we're just going to use the scrap pieces that we have from past projects. And so I've got some bingo cards and then some odds and ends from the rub-ons, some ephemera pieces. I've got some chipboard leftovers and some flowers. And then I also pulled some book pages that I had in my stash and just other odds and ends that will be inside of our junk journal. I do have 8.5 by 11 copy sheets that have been tea dyed, and I went ahead and cut those down to 11 by 7 5/8. Okay, and you will need 6 of those because that will give us 12 pages to decorate. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fold those 6 pieces in half, and we're going to burnish those down, and that will give us 12 pages for our junk journal. This piece is 12 by 8 inches, and you're going to fold this piece in half. Okay, so we're going to fold this piece in half, and then if you would like, you can ink it around the edges, and then your pages should just fit right inside of there because your pages are actually going to measure 11 by 7 5/8, okay? Okay, so once you fold your booklet in half, you're going to go ahead and you're going to score on each side of that 6-inch score line. So my score line is going to be at 5 7/8, and then the next one next to it is going to be 6 1/8. Next, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to burnish in those score lines, and so that way it kind of gives you a little bit of a spine, but not too much. Okay, I just like the added room for our pages. Next, I'm just going to ink the edges of all around my booklet here. Okay, so now we're going to start folding in half all of our pages or the pattern papers. There is one, this one right here, that is a 4 5/8 by 11. We're going to put that to the side because we're going to use that to make pockets. And this piece right here, I just folded about a 1/4 inch of it up, and then the rest of them are folded in half. Next, I'm using my black soot oxide ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges of all of the folded papers. Okay, so now we're going to make a pocket with this piece, and this is the piece that I told you at the beginning of the video to set aside. This is the 4 5/8 by 12 piece that we're going to fold in half, and you're going to cut it at 2 1/4 by 9 inches. So here we're just folding it in half, and then we're going to go ahead and cut this down, and again you're going to cut it by 2 1/4 by 9. Okay, so now that we have our pieces that are cut at 2 1/4 by 9, we're going to go ahead and score a 1/2 inch with the piece laying 9 inches across the top. You're going to go ahead and score a 1/2 inch on the right and left hand side, and then turn it to the 2 1/4 inch side and score downward. Next, where you have your 2 intersected score lines, you're going to cut that little piece off at a diagonal. You're going to go ahead and bring in your tabs and fold those over and burnish those in. And you're going to do the same thing for the other pocket piece. Alright, so let's go ahead and decorate these book pages I have. I went ahead and crumpled it up and then went ahead and squirted it with water and then unraveled it. And then I went ahead and went back over it with some vintage photo ink, and then I started tearing a little bit of pieces away from the book page, and then coming back in on the edges of that and using the black soot. I thought it gave it like that burnt kind of look, and I really liked it. So this is how we're decorating the book pages. Okay, so we've got 2 of those book pages, and now we're on to poking the holes on our little pages. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and poke our holes, and you're going to find the middle score line that we have, and you're going to grab your ruler, okay? And you're going to go ahead and grab a pen, and you're going to butt your ruler up against that score line that we have, and you're going to mark it with a pen at 1.5, at 3.5, 5.5, and at 7.5. And that is where you're going to poke your holes, okay? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark our holes on our pages. And where you have the fold line on your sheets, you're just going to go ahead and mark those up with the holes that we created on the booklet. So on the edge there of your booklet, on the spine, you're going to go ahead and mark at wherever your holes are. That's where you're going to mark them on your sheet right there. And that's where you're going to poke your holes. Okay, and I take a few sheets at a time and poke my holes in, but you can do them all at once if you would like. Now, after you poke your holes for the first set of pages, you can definitely use those pages as a template to poke the holes in the second set of pages. Okay, so I went ahead and stuck my needle through the pages and then brought my cover up to my needle, and then I went ahead and just went and sewed the back round, came up through the middle part, went back through where my little up at top there, and then went back down through the other place, and then just kept kind of sewing it back and forth until I reached the end. And just making sure that it's secure, and I didn't do it very tight, but yeah, so, and then I just went ahead and cut the string off and then tied a knot in the middle of that, and voila, we are done. Now we are all done sewing our booklet together, and I think it looks great. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our little pockets to our page here, and to the front of the inside of our cover and the back of the cover. Okay, you're just going to grab your glue or your adhesive, and you're just going to place it on the 1/2-inch tabs that are on your back of your pocket, and you're just going to go ahead and attach it right there on the left hand side of the edge there, and on the back it's going to be on the right hand side on the edge. So next I went ahead and added gesso to the clock chipboard piece, and then I went ahead and added or just patted it down with some vintage photo ink, grabbed the Botanical Stains Woad Blue and painted that on there, and I really like how it looked. It kind of gave it like these little stained looks on there. And then I went ahead and added some little trinket arms on there, and then went ahead and went over the numerals with a black pen. Okay, I'm all done with the clock, and I am really happy with how it turned out using the Botanical Stain Woad Blue and the vintage ink. And I love the stained look that it has on it. So now we're going to go ahead and attach that to the front of the book. Okay, so next I'm just going to add some little pieces of ephemera and the book pages to the inside of our little junk journal here, and I'm just tacking everything down. This little piece of ephemera, I went, because it's the envelope and I love this, so I went ahead and grabbed my X-Acto knife, traced around it so it would open up, and then we're going to glue this down so it opens up. I went ahead and put glue on the sides and up on top, and then we're going to go ahead and lay this down. And it looks so cute. I absolutely love how it looks on there. And I went ahead and placed a little bingo card in front of that. I am next placing on some of the rub-ons and here and there throughout the pages. So I went ahead and wanted to share this with you, that I just took the rub-ons and put them on other blank pages. And then here I'm decorating this page. Took another of the book pages that we inked up, and then I took a strip of the paper and I went ahead and inked it up and distressed it, glued it down, and then went ahead and took a bingo card and placed that inside. Here is another idea you can do with your leftover pieces of scrap paper. Go ahead and tear them and then ink them up and then place them on top and the bottom of a junk journal page, and just adds a little bit more to your page, and I think it looks really nice. Here's another great idea for you to just add some remnants of lace that you have from your stash. Tear up some of your papers and then just add them as a border, and I think it looks really nice and adds a little bit to your page. Okay, so I finished the book and we went ahead and I added this flower to the top. That was the flower I had left over from the kit. I used everything that was all of my scraps and then some. So I grabbed this little metal clock with the cogs was in my stash. We used the rest of the captured bits and the ephemera piece. The clock that I did a little bit of, used a little bit of the botanical stains from there. It is the road blue. And then I also used some inks, and I used the Distress Oxide Inks Vintage Photo and Black Soot. And then placed the bingo card right here. And then I did use the remaining little film strips that I had cut. I used one here just as an embellishment. I also did the rub-ons here and here, and I did them in the book. Here we made a little pocket right here using some of our scraps. I went ahead and put one of the pages, book pages right here that we inked up and everything, a piece of ephemera here. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp on here. I just didn't do it right now. You turn this, and we made a little pocket from the envelope piece from the ephemera packet. And then I put a little word right here. I stapled this little flag right here. I thought that was super cute. Here we went ahead and I put on a piece of strip right here. I used another bingo card and a piece of ephemera just for like either little tuck spots or something. And then here on this side we used some more rub-ons. And then I made a little, kind of like a little tuck spot right here out of the leftover paper strips that I had. On this one here, I actually used some Tim Holtz things, and let me grab that real quick. I did pull out my Tim Holtz, and I used the worn wallpaper scraps. It has some of these like little fabric pieces in here with the fabric flowers, and this was, I think this was a couple of years ago. It's been in my stash and I think I've only used it once, and I thought this would be a good time to pull it out and give this book some color. So I went ahead and used that, and then I used the words from DIY shop, and they come with some words in here, 134 words, and I thought that looked really good on there. I thought that was super cute. And then here, just a little tuck spot with some lace. I thought that was super cute. Here again, I used the book page that we inked up and did some more, used the rest of the rub-ons here and here, and then put some little flowers right here, a bingo card, turn it over, and I did a little paper clip right here with a piece of card. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I figure, you know, that's one thing I like about journals, is that you can use them for whatever you want. No rhyme or reason. It's just a bunch of ideas, kind of like, you know, like a collage, you know, and it's just really fun to do. So here I put another bingo card here. You flip it over, and I did add one of the fabric pieces here. So this is one of the fabric pieces from the Tim Holtz Ideology wallpaper. And then I did some lace there, and I used some of the wallpaper strips here. what I did here on this one is I used some of the flowers from this packet and the wallpaper, and then I went ahead and used the pattern paper, that rose, and I went and used also the industrious stickers. These have like little frames in them, and this has been sitting in my stash for a long time. And I went ahead and actually painted inside of that rose with some Shimmers Bubblegum Blast. And then I used my green marker to do the leaves and such. But that was really fun to do. So yeah, so and that's what I was saying, is that you can do some fun things. You can add things, stamp on it, hit whatever you want to do. And then here I just put this like little piece of, it's a doily that was in that Tim Holtz kit, and it just says love on there. Some more little remnants of a lace that I had in my stash. And here again, some little pieces that I tore from the paper scraps that I had. And yeah, so here we went ahead and used some more scraps, and then some more little rib or lace that I had in my stash. Again, I used one of those frames from the industrious stickers from Tim Holtz, the ideology, and then I put one of those flowers up here, put one of the words lovely, and again I went ahead and painted this with the Shimmers Bubblegum Blast on the paper. This is actually the flower paper that is in the Simple Stories collection that I painted on. So it looks like it was already there, but actually I painted that, and I have so much fun doing that. Here I just did a little collage of the little boy and the little girl, and then it says Timeless Memories. I used the rest of that film strip chipboard piece, and then again one of the little white ephemera pieces or flower pieces from this Tim Holtz ideology stack. Placed one of the wallpapers on the back, used the rest of our paper for another pocket back here, which I thought was super cute. And that is it, you guys. So that is what I used. And yeah, we are all done with this. We are all done with this booklet. I really had fun making this. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for joining me. I have all the links down below for you. And thanks again. Don't forget, next month is the July Scrapbook Club kits that come out. And so I hope to see you guys then. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Take care. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for joining me today, y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and hit that bell for future notifications on all upcoming videos, tutorials, YouTube hops, and my Friday night lives at 4:30 Central Time.